Hey guys, Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. I'm excited to have this young lady on the show. Love her outfit, love her energy. She's going to talk about self-healing journey. She's got a great story, and that's what the TED Show is all about: is sharing the story and the journey. We have the one and only Shan Bryant is here with us. Excited to have you on the show. You've been so patient. Thank you for being here. How you doing today?
Thank you so much, Ted. I so appreciate you going out on a limb and having someone like me on the show to kind of share my self healing journey with you guys.
I love self-healing. I'm a big believer in it. I think a lot of people need it. No, I don't think it. I know a lot of people need it. I know a lot of people don't know where to start with it or how to even begin it. There's so much trauma in so many people's lives. And I say that without saying, a lot of people say, well, that's just drama, Ted. I said, well, the drama caused the trauma. So lots of people are in a place where I feel like they need healing and understanding. And so I love the fact that you're going to share your journey with us. I think it's so important for humans to connect and feel like they're not alone in the world. So Shan, without further ado, I told you before we went live, tell us a little bit about you and who you are and kind of how you got here.
Sure. So, I'm a storyteller, so I'm really going to try my hardest to not like sit here for 4 hours and tell you my whole journey, because I am writing a book that will do that. Like most people, my journey has been filled with a lot of trauma, like you said. It's been filled with from literally being in the womb trauma, to the things that you don't really think about in infancy, being trauma that gets stored in your body that shows up in your 50s and you're not even aware of it until somehow you're in a breathwork session and suddenly you're back in that and it all comes out and you get to the root cause. And that's kind of really been my journey. So I was kind of this live fast, die young kid. I was in theater, from theater and dance since the time I was 3 years old. And I really lived this very fast paced life. My whole childhood was go, go, go. My college years were insane. And then I moved to New York City, and it was, living that life in the theater of, we stay up and we run theater all night, then we go out, and then, somehow you get up and you work a day job after 2 hours of sleep. And the toll that all of that begins to take on your body. And when I was about 27 years old, my body started to go, nope. And it literally took this nosedive, and I started getting all of this dis-ease in my body. And at 27, my doctors were like, you have to leave New York. You have to give up this career you love, and you need to get into a warmer climate. You can't walk stairs anymore. Like all of these lies that kept, coming my way. And when you're listening to doctors, you so often believe everything and you hang on their every word. So I moved to Florida, and I was off work for a couple of years and really tried to get back into that workforce. Went to work at one of the theme parks as a stage manager, tried to get back into that go, go, go lifestyle. And the traumas and all of the things that continued to happen in my body started breaking down so bad that I developed a seizure disorder where I was getting 26 seizures a day. Oh. And the doctors were like, my neurologist said, you're never going to work again. They kept finding me passed out on the floor at work. The EMTs were out like 3 times a week. And towards the end of my career, this went on for like 7 years at work. And they finally said, Shan, you really, we really need you to go and take care of your health. So I left my beautiful, career as a stage manager and started sitting in this bed and listening. My full-time job became doctors. And so I really started to listen to these doctors that told me in my early 40s, you're done with life. This is it for you. You are done. And I was like, what do you mean I'm done? Like, I'm still raising a kid. I thought I was going to have all this life, but I believed what they said for about 9 years. And I started during that process, those 9 years, I started a lot of self-development work, a lot of meditation, a lot of, really diving into what is the root cause of each and every one of these things: diabetes, fibromyalgia, disc issues. Like, why is my body literally revolting in every way, shape, or form? 3 heart surgeries, not to mention the seizure disorders. Like, it was just, chronic migraines that were hemiplegic. So I would be paralyzed on one side of my body that would cause me to pass out. And I couldn't speak, I couldn't communicate, I couldn't move. So all of these things were happening to me, and I wasn't even 50 yet.
Wow.
And so I started diving into, what is this root cause and how can I take back my own self-healing? And during the pandemic, I was afforded the opportunity to take this mala making challenge. And a mala is this infinite string of 108 beads that you meditate with, that you put in your hands, and you actually physically meditate with it, setting an intention with each bead. And so I just started doing this practice, and the whole making of the mala was this incredible process and meditative process. And I had so much fun doing it. I started making them for all my friends, and cut to about a year later, after I heard it 3 times: Shan, you need to start a business. Oh no, the doctor said I would never work again. Oh wait, who are the doctors to tell me that I can't start my own business? Maybe I just do this as like a little hobby. And that's how it started. And then the angels started speaking to me, and I really started to hear in meditation, you can take your own health back. If you heal yourself, you heal your community, yourself will be completely healed. And so as I sat in this meditation every single day working with these malas, I really started to see that I was rewiring my neural pathways. I was getting to the root cause in breath work of where the traumas were coming from. I mean, going, like I said, all the way back from infancy. Some things were, when I'm in my 20s, all of these things, all of these moments in my life started to happen. And I really started to get crystal clear that I could control my healing. And no doctor, no supplement, no, all of these things were not the cure-all of the magic. The magic is in me. And so I started this business, and this business is thriving. Shan Girl's Heart is my business, and it is a healing jewelry business based on my healing journey, to where I educate, I speak on stages. Like I said, I have 2 books in the works right now, and I'm really starting to share my story and other women's stories about their healing journeys and about what is happening with all the lies that we're being told out in the world, and that it really is truly up to us. And so that was my long version of giving you my origin story and what I'm really, really about.
I'm lots of questions in my mind. Can you go back to the moment that you took the control back? Can you share what that was? Or was there a big dramatic thing that happened? Or was it just a meditative moment where you realized, gosh, I don't have to put up with this bull crap anymore? what was your moment?
Sure. So it was about 1.5 years ago. I was in this self-development class, and I read this 2-page essay by Bob Proctor called The Decision Article. And it was something I started to read every day and then every month. And the decision article basically says one thing: make a decision and then take action on that decision. And so my aha, I declared it on a morning call. I have these gratitude calls every morning with this beautiful tribe of women. And I said to them, I will never have a seizure again, ever. And they said, I felt that like to the, to my toenails. They were all like, I believe you. And a year and a half, like I literally did not have a seizure for a year and a half. And between the little hurricanes, I had one seizure, and it was on camera with those same people, and never have had one again. So I know they are gone. I have declared they are gone. And that was that moment. And it catapulted me to another stratosphere. And every day, like I said, the angels speak to me, and it has gotten louder and louder. And I'm starting to really hone in on the magic inside of me. But it started with the Decision article by Bob Proctor.
Love it. I'm going to put that in the link below, you all, or you Google it just so we have it. So you make the decision, and you said catapult. So your life changed. It was a big shift for you. Talk about what that looked like. Like, how did we get to Shan Girl's heart?
So, I spent 9 years. What I didn't tell you is I spent 9 years in the bed. I lived a very, very small life. Didn't do a whole lot. Lost my driver's license, lost all my freedoms. Really, my husband works 2 jobs trying to support us. And so I was just sitting here with sunglasses on every day because I couldn't be on a computer. I hadn't been on a computer in 4 years. Couldn't look at a cell phone, couldn't have bright lights in my eyes, like all of these things. And then suddenly, after making that decision, all of these things started to work themselves out. And little by little, it took a lot of biopsychosocial, right? Like, it's not just one thing when you're healing yourself, it's biopsychosocial. So you got to look at the physiology of your body. You got to look at your brain. And then, what is it physically? So, and the social part was what was missing for me because I was hiding in my room. And so I started getting out and said, the best way to do this is to get this business off the ground and start doing shows. And I started doing these last June. I started doing little shows at like retreats and things a few years ago, a couple of years ago, 2.5 years ago. But last June, I said, okay, I'm going to do my first big 2-day festival shows. And it was getting out of the house. And the first one was really rough, right? And I was shaking. There was a lot of physical body going, what are you doing? And every show has gotten a little better and a little better. And suddenly I'm doing 1, 2, 4 shows a month. And, this weekend we've got, a big Orlando 2 big day shows. And then next weekend in Sarasota, 2 big day shows. And I just came off of 2 vacations. So I started getting out and living. I started taking vacations. Started telling my husband, you have to take time off. Yes. Because you are part of my social network. And I really started getting out with my girlfriend started coming back over to the house again. And, so really starting to get back out into the world. And that was such a big part of my healing. And then it developed this, into this business where as I was sharing my story with people in my booth at the show, they were like, you have such an incredible speaking voice. Okay, well, I have a degree in theater, right? So it translated and I started to see it all happen. I was like, I was born in one phase of my life that was supposed to put me here at this phase of my life. And I'm 53 now. Right. And I am thriving. I am the happiest, calmest version of myself I've ever been because of my business. Because I am now teaching other people how to self-heal. And by doing that, then I started getting on stages and started speaking on stages at all of these shows that I go to, and then teaching people the power of this mala and how, healing jewelry, even wearing your, healing jewelry bracelets, and they're all made out of crystals, right? So it's frequency medicine, and there's so much involved in it. So I want to share those messages with people, and maybe another time I can come on and, teach that class, but
you should. I would love that. I'm fascinated by the jewelry part. And I'm glad you talked about their crystals. So can you tell us the name of the one that you're wearing now and what that means and signifies?
Yes. So this is red jasper. So the red is red jasper, and then it's got black onyx in it right here. These are the focal beads. And then, you've got your guru bead at the bottom, which is you're turning something from darkness into light. And then your tassel at the bottom is the flow of energy. So basically this whole thing is an infinite, it's an infinite, flow of energy, and you're putting that positive energy in by you're touching each bead and putting that intention into each bead. So for me, it started as saying, I am healthy. I am healthy. I am healthy. My body works whole and complete just as it is 108 times, right? And then those knots in between, which I hand make them and hand knot them, those knots in between remind us to pause. And that is literally just taking that breath and to get out of our monkey mind and get into our self-healing soul. And then you take that, turning something from darkness down here at the bottom and turning it into light and reminding us that we are all connected. And so when I'm doing this for me, it's not just for me, it's for everyone. So I'm doing it for the whole planet. So the self-healing is not selfish. It's literally for everyone. And then that flow of energy sends it out to all of the people around the world.
It's beautiful. And I feel like a lot of people are, I keep saying, I feel like, I know there are a lot of people who could utilize that. It's interesting because I believe what you share, like I love crystals. I love the whole thought process. I feel like you speaking to it. There's so many, doesn't matter what world religion you're involved in or whatever you're involved in, speaking things is so powerful. And to bring the crystals in is just such a beautiful thing. And so combining all of that together and understanding the meaning and making that a way for you to talk to yourself and self-talk positive and breathe positive words into the world about you is so powerful. And so I love that you created a business around it so that you could share your gift, because that's a gift to understand it. It's also a gift to have experienced the fact that you have self-healed from a place that everyone said you wouldn't come out of to where you are today. To be able to share that gift is such a wonderful blessing. So kudos to you for that. I think it's amazing what you have done. So for someone who's beginning, maybe they're like, all right, I can get past this. I kind of like what Shan said. Do they go to like a website to learn from you? How do they get to learn more about how to self-heal and maybe purchase your jewelry?
Awesome. Thank you for asking that. So I am on Facebook and on Instagram at Shan Girls Heart. Very simple, because everything I do is from love, with love, and for love, and from the heart center. So all of my jewelry, as I place every bead onto the cording, I literally say, may this person have love. May this person have good health. May this person have prosperity. And what I specialize in is custom pieces for people. So I do a little short interview with someone on my social media. I will send you if you reach out to me through my DMs, I will send you a quick link to a form that you fill out, and then you and I have a little consultation, and it is the coolest thing to be able to create something. It's co-creation with someone, and everything I make is all one of a kind, by the way. And to be able to take something they're dealing with. So what intentions are they looking to come up with, for this year? What is their word for the year? Maybe they're going through, maybe they just lost someone. Maybe they're going through a divorce. Maybe they're trying to get pregnant. So it does not matter what you're dealing with. And then all of the health things that they're dealing with. And then I sit in meditation. The guides come to me and say, okay, they need some Kambaba jasper, they need some citrine. So they'll tell me what crystals to put in it. And sometimes it's like, oh, interesting, but it has never been wrong, not once, in I've made hundreds and hundreds of these for clients now, not to mention the thousands I've made that I've just sold at shows, but it's never wrong. So, reach out to me. I'm so happy to do custom pieces for people. That's kind of my happy place.
I love it.
And they also have little healing crystal cards too. So they know what the healing properties and the metaphysical properties are of each bead in their piece. So that's an important part.
That's so important. And I love that you custom make them and that you put the intention in there. I mean, all of what you're putting into there's so much thought and heart that goes into each piece. And people value that. And never underestimate the power of what you're doing. I would tell that to anybody who's interested in your jewelry and your healing journey. As we wrap up, you are obviously in a good place. You've said you're happy. You're in your happy place. You're good. What would you tell somebody who's struggling right now? What a first step might be to take on their self-healing journey to get them on the road, whether it's a teeny tiny step or a big step? How can they break that cycle of listening to all of the negativity to kind of move along?
So the stories that you have been told your whole entire life are probably lies. So really, go on a date with yourself and ask yourself some pretty amazing journaling questions. So journaling changed my life, and it is a daily part of my practice after my meditation, because I sit in meditation and then I journal what I hear. So that is the first thing I always tell people. Go on a date with yourself. Take a little walk. If meditation isn't your thing, walking can be meditative. Folding the laundry can be meditative. Doing the dishes, as long as you're doing something with intention. But ask yourself those questions. If a teacher told you when you were in 3rd grade that you weren't enough, ask yourself, am I enough? And then write your badass list of all the things you do that you're enough, and start to change and just start to notice what you're noticing. Because once you start to see, there's so much evidence for whatever it is we're looking for. So if we're looking for all those negative things, we're going to find more negative things.
Oh, true.
And Ted, you said it, our words make our world. So our self-talk is the most important key to self-healing, because the words we say, even in our brains, what we write and what comes out of our mouth is exactly what we manifest in this world. Right. So if you want to manifest healing, then manifest healing by saying it every single day that you are healthy, because we have to show up how we want to show up, and the universe will give that to us. So keep telling the universe what you want, and that's what you'll get.
Shan Bryant, what a joy to have you on the show. I mean, I already feel better. You can't not love your energy. It's loving and it's positive. And I know that there are people that are surrounded by so much negativity all the time. And when I coach people, I'm just always amazed at the trauma and the drama and these negative self-talk, and how amazing that you have this gift that you're willing to share with the world. And I kudos to you, and I'm just in awe of that love, because you're giving out a lot of love. You are just literally showering people with love even before they know it. And so what a blessing. So I want all of you who are in that crazy place, and we've all been there in some way, shape, or form, I want you to reach out to Shan. You can find her. You can look at her link tree, Shan Girls Heart 25, or find her at Shan Girls Heart on Instagram, Facebook, all platforms. I want you to talk to her, consult with her, take a look at her jewelry, and really kind of envelop yourself in that love and self healing. So thank you for coming on and sharing. You never know on the show, right? When I do a podcast, I because I don't ask anybody anything beforehand, I have no idea where things are going to go. And I love it, because this is a prime example of how amazing that is, when I just let the universe, God, whatever your beliefs are, heart and soul, come out and let somebody share that. So I am thankful for you, Shan. You all get out. If you are struggling, please reach out. There is help and there is love. So Thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate you so much. You all, if you're struggling, all you have to do is reach out to somebody. And why not reach out to somebody who's got the love like Shan Bryant does? All right. We'll see you soon. Thank you, Shan, so much. You guys, we're always thinking of you and praying for you and sending you positive energy. And so here's somebody who can help with that for sure. All right, guys. See you later.